Welcome back. In the previous video, we've shown you how you can use our builder to create your own chatbot. I've already discussed a brief overview of the sequences and how you can use them, rules, and I've also shown you how you can use blocks in the add and send content section from our block list. So in this video, we're going to discuss how you can collect user information from the customers who are coming into your platform. So let's say we're going to show you the user input block. So the user input block, what this is going to do is basically collect information as you like from the customers. So let's say, for instance, I'd like to ask the customer, what is your name? And we want to save this name somewhere. So over here, you can see there's an attribute attached. So let's say we change the attribute. So let's go to first name, or in this scenario, we can also go to full name, right? So whenever a customer comes in and if they give their name, you can save it to an attribute and you can view this information later on. We always encourage our users or our clients to basically inform the customer that the information that the customer is going to give is going to be saved in a variable. So you should always inform your customer as good practice. Anyway, moving on, let's talk about the validation. So a user input could be of different validation, right? So if you're expecting it to be a number validation, in case of a phone number, you can change the validation to a number validation. So in case a user comes in and types in John Doe, it's not going to be validated. In a basic validation, it validates the text format. And for an image validation, you expect an image to be sent from the user or the customer coming into your platform. So in this case, since we're asking for the name, it's going to be, what is your name? So it's going to be a basic validation. The fail text is basically in case the validation fails, what text is going to be sent to the user. So by default, we keep this as what you have entered is not valid. You can always change this text. The error count shows you how many times the user will basically be allowed to give a wrong information or a wrong, let's say, text or phone input for us to collect. And if this validation count is succeeded, we move on to a failed validation sequence. This is basically a redirection so that your chatbot doesn't get stuck in a loop. So let's go into this and let's send them to the default sequence, right? So in the default sequence, we can actually send them to a ticket. So this is actually going to be good. So let's go back to our collect information test sequence. Oh, I couldn't save it. Okay, let's go over this again. What is your name? And let's send them to the default sequence, and also let's change it to full name, right? Let's also attach a trigger for this. So let's put the keyword as info. So whenever a customer comes in and gives you the info, or whenever they type in info, it's going to be triggered. So let's go to our tutorial again. And over here, if I type info, our user input block is triggered. Now, if I type in my name, it's going to show you, it's going to collect the information. So let's say I type in Rifayat. And this is just going to collect the information